What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly wrap-up with Councilwoman Jamie Torres and DJ Konz. What's up, Jamie? How's it going today?
It is good. Happy Friday, Konz.
Happy Friday. Here we are. End of the week, end of the weekend. Let's go. I will take it. It's been a long ride.
I'm ready for it. And no snow this time, so it's looking good.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty great. It's been mild, which is nice. I'll take mild weather over extreme any day of the week.
Agreed. It's a reason to be happy for the weekend. What's up, District 3? This is Councilwoman Jamie Torres, and this is our weekly wrap-up where me and DJ Konz run through what's happened in City Council this week and maybe a preview of what's happening, what's coming up. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, DJ Konz. What are we listening to?
This is actually instrumental by Jason Joshua called Rose Gold. Just an amazing. This is ringing in the season right here. So I think from here on out on the weekly wrap up, we're gonna have songs that are just gonna ring in the season. Some soldies, some good vibes. We're spreading the love, spreading the vibes.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much for setting the vibe for us. And welcome, everyone.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot to cover. And let me first start with, I think, the major thing that was happening in council this week. And this was it's called an IGA, an intergovernmental agreement for this soccer stadium that's being proposed right off of Santa Fe and really the highway. Like it's between the highway and Mississippi, the old Gates rubber plant. If you remember that.
Nice. Yeah. That's actually a cool spot to put it too.
Yeah. Right.
Activate that corner, right?
Well, I think that's the point, right? And so, how do we get some good understanding of what's happening here? Because the city's being asked to help pay for some stuff, and so this came out of committee, this Wednesday, out of the South Platte River Committee, and we had to make sure. It was important for me to make sure we understood how much money was being requested, for what reason, and what it would be going toward. So all of those things really mattered. This intergovernmental agreement changed a little bit since the last time it was presented to us 2 weeks ago in really positive ways. It didn't make us responsible for future projects like, a North Bridge. That should still be built. It just shouldn't be the city who pays for it. And then really understanding, I think, where the money's coming from. So we know that our bond projects from 2017 costed more to finish, and about $50 to $60 million more to finish than we originally had allocated. And so the interest that's been accruing from the money is going to go towards those. We were kind of setting aside money in our capital improvements fund, which gets about $134 million each year from property taxes, sales taxes, lodgers tax, fleet tax, things like that. That now gets freed up. It's unobligated once bond projects get covered by the interest. That would then go toward this soccer project. And so it's been helpful for us to make sure we had a good understanding of what all of that money movement was going to look like. And we got an economic development report. So how many jobs get created out of the construction? What's the potential sales tax that comes out of a major project like this? And is it worth us putting in dollars in order to receive those things? So that finally came through as well. So it's looking like a better, more cohesive project now. Yeah. The other thing,
nice. And sometimes, projects do run over, but
they do, right? I mean, you price something out.
Unforeseen things.
Yeah, exactly. Konz, you priced out a major project in 2017, right? That was a minute ago. Things just cost different now. And so that was important for us to make sure those bond projects are going to get finished. I know we've got a couple. Westwood Rec Center is one of them that cost more than we originally planned. We got to make sure we're delivering it, right? So that was a big question that we had to make sure that we got answered as well.
Nice.
Yes. And then one of the things that I want to give a shout out to before we get into our updates is the Latino Cultural Arts Center did a groundbreaking this week as well for their Las Bodegas project. It's in Loma Lincoln Park. It is at Umatilla, 10,000 square feet, all electric campus. It's going to house classrooms, creative studios, a digital media lab, a cafe. It's going to be a really amazing, like culturally rooted space for programs and learning and education and creativity. So really excited.
Very nice.
They're going to be moving that forward. So congrats to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yes. Okay, so Konz, you know, we're always kind of asking for resident support, but do you ever get confused with the surveys that go out from the city?
Sometimes it gets to be confusing because it seems like I get confused by which project is which. And I don't know, like if it's the same project or something different. You know what I mean? And sometimes they might overlap. So so yeah, there is some confusion.
And it's totally fair. And there's always a lot that are going on out there. And so right now there are 3 major surveys that affect our District 3. And I wanted to just share a little bit about them so that you know what they're asking for before you go in or you don't, I don't want you to get frustrated either and not complete any survey.
Yeah.
So there are 3. So the Southwest Area Plan is one. There's not a specific survey, but it does impact, I think, a vision for the next 20 years for Southwest Denver neighborhoods. And this is a time to share feedback. So they just released a draft and they're taking feedback on that draft. So that's one. The second has to do with development regulations. So the city, community planning and development, they are the ones who issue permits. They do all of your plan approvals and get your development approved and ready to go for construction. So they want to know what's working and what's not working. So there is a survey out for that. Finally, yeah, go ahead, Konz.
And I want to say thanks for clearing it up, because that's awesome to know. What legislation has coming through, because it does get confusing and there's a lot of projects going on. So, to stay up to date with everything, yeah, it's tough, but it's good to know where, what's important and going to affect you as to what is,
100%, 100%. And the third one is about parking. So the city's considering removing parking requirements. So eliminating the minimum, right? And want to get your input on that. So that's setting off a lot of questions, right? And one of the ways that I've described it is that a state bill is going to require us to eliminate parking minimums around transit corridors. So that's Colfax, Federal, Alameda, major transit corridors where we have bus lines running or light rail lines. And so the city is looking at that map and going, okay, it's just leaving some pockets in the neighborhoods that don't have parking minimums, but we're enforcing parking minimums maybe across the street. Maybe it's helpful for us just to eliminate all the parking minimums, because there's just these small pockets that'll still have them. And what do people think about that? So that's a survey that's out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And parking in the city is important. So always pay attention. And that's a good one to pay attention to and make sure you're involved in that one.
Yeah. And parking is important and it's expensive. Now back to the fun stuff, right? So nice. Denver Park and Recreation, their summer activity guide is out. You have full season of fun with swimming lessons, sports leagues, art classes, day camps, outdoor adventures, the whole gamut.
I'm ready. Summertime is upon us, and this is my season. I turn into a kid, a 10-year-old all over again once the sun starts coming out.
And families are thinking about these things. Oh gosh, what are my kids going to do when summer vacation starts, right? So the guide will tell you everything: youth activities, older adult activities, adaptive recreation activities. So you can take Zumba classes, Konz. We'll share the info to sign up.
Let's go. I'll do it.
And then Día del Niño. So more events like this. They just establish such great connections between everyone. And then we've got Día del Niño at Chalk on April 26th. Art workshops, dance performances, face painting, you name it. It's going to be happening.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love how there's something for all ages. You know what I mean? It's going to be an amazing afternoon for everybody, everybody, the family included, the arts and culture, it's going to shine through. And, that's what we do. That's what goes down.
It is. And everywhere kids are at, it is just much more fun. So
yeah,
it's a great way to celebrate kids and creativity. And who doesn't love face painting, right? And all of the ways that we celebrate that. So creative spaces, feeling connected. So just love that. So Día del Niño.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to bring my little Nino, my grandson down, and he'll be into it. He loves it.
There you go. So we will share information. It's going to be a great couple of weeks for that. And then I know folks are keeping an eye out on the neighborhood and checking out youth programs that might be happening over the spring.
Yeah.
And so there is a $500 bonus program for youth if they complete 100 hours of work between April 1st and April 15th. Nope, I don't think that's already passed. So let's move past that one. I think that's it for us, Konz. Any updates or shout outs that you've got?
Just, remember, Cinco de Mayo's right on the corner. We'll be right there on Morrison Road celebrating. So pull up.
I love that.
You know how we do it.
Oh my gosh, that is right around the corner. So thanks for mentioning Cinco. There's the big Cinco downtown, and then there is Cinco de Mayo in Westwood. That will be along Morrison Road. So thanks for that reminder.
Let's go, little Cinco. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace out, Jamie.